Hey everyone, it's Cheryl from Teaching 2 and 3-year-olds. I cannot believe that we are starting our very last theme of the school year. And when I think about this last school year and how we started virtually and we continued to only teach virtually until the beginning of March, and then we had our first day of school in March in person, it's just going to be the school year that I will always remember. And I'm sure a lot of you are nodding your heads and you feel the same way. So it seems weird that I'm already getting ready to finish the school year when we just started, but that's just kind of how the last year and a half has been, and we roll with it. And that means that now I am getting ready for our beach and ocean theme. And I love ending the year with something that's summery, because a lot of our children go to the beach. So it's very meaningful for them. In fact, this weekend, several of our families are there now because we don't live that far away from there. We're gonna be taking their experiences from a real beach, and we're gonna bring them into the classroom for some fun learning and playing opportunities. But before I get into my ocean and beach theme, I wanted to go back to last week, and I hope you saw last week's video that shared highlights of what we were doing for our dinosaur theme. And I told you I had a plan for our dinosaur template, and so I shared that they were going to be doing some painting with paper tubes, and I cut these in half. They dipped it into paint. We squirted different colors into little containers, and I wanted to show you how they turned out. So it was like this, and then what I did was I then just cut them out like this, but I thought these were really cute, and no two are ever alike. I'm gonna hang these on the wall so they can remind them of our dinosaur theme that we had the last 2 weeks, which was a huge hit. The children loved going on the dinosaur hunt. So I have to say that remember that for your next dinosaur theme. Gather up your plastic dinosaurs. I like the jumbo ones. We hid them outside for them to find, and as they found them, they put them in a basket. We also did the same thing in the gym because they loved it so much outside. We did the same thing in the gym as well. And then they took the dinosaurs and hid them and then found them again. So I just wanted to kind of follow up and let you know what the highlights were for our dinosaur theme. Again, you can find that video in my YouTube playlist. Oh, and one more thing. I mentioned this also in the last video, but I wanted to tell you again, this book was a hit. And the children took turns pressing the buttons to hear the different dinosaurs. So I then used this as we were getting ready to go to the gym or to go outside. The children each got to choose which one they wanted. They pressed it, and then they got up to go get ready to go to wherever we were transitioning to. So I will put this, the link to this in my resource page and also in this video's description. I'm definitely gonna save this one again for next year. So now we're moving on to our beach and ocean theme. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that when I plan for each theme, the first thing I do is I go through our books. So our preschool has, in our storage room, a large area where the books they're categorized by subject. So I go through them and I find the books that I want to use. And then from there, I find songs, and I have found that I like to use Spotify. It's easier for me. Teachers have different preferences on how they like to do it. And then I have a beach and ocean playlist, and I've made this public, so you're more than welcome to check out the songs that I put in there. This is all going to be in my beach and ocean resource page that shares everything we're doing this year. That link is in this video's description. So I have my books, I have my songs, and then the next thing I do is I think about props. And again, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I started using props more when we did virtual teaching, and when we came back in person, I just kept it going. So I created these different colored fish that the children can hold while we listen to different ocean songs. You can even make this be a color matching activity where the two friends find who has the matching fish and they bring them together. There's lots of different things you can do with these. And in that same packet, this is a freebie on my website, by the way, and the link will be on the resource page. I also have numbered fish from 1 to 10 that you can use for anything that you want, maybe a counting song or just a counting activity in itself. I also like to just keep this available for the children during our centers time because they like to come over and take the fish off and put them back on. And if they are able to, they can put them in order as well. For the younger ones, you might just want to go to 5. However you want to do it. So those are my main circle time props there. And then I have a bunch of printables. I'll just share a few here. We have our alphabet matching printable. They're alphabet cards. We have our rainbow fish matching the color fish to the color that's in the bowl. I have my fish counting clip, so they count how many fish and then they put the clothespin on the matching number. And I also have 10 fish swimming in the ocean. This is a little counting activity for them that they can color. I have these ocean counting cards. And then I have a couple of templates. I have our seahorse template and I have our fish template. And we will be using this for several different activities. One of the activities is going to be, they're going to be rolling white and blue paint onto bubble wrap. And so that's going to be one of the activities. And as I come up with my other activities, all of this is going to be on my beach and ocean resource page. Again, that link is in the video's description, so you want to check that out. And then as far as our classroom setup, let me take you around. On our light table, we have our colored plastic fish, and then I got our sorting bowls that are the same colors. And then I put some nets out so the children can put the fish in the sorting bowls. They could use the nets to transfer them. On the easel, I have our fish template and the children can paint that with, we'll have different watercolors for them for that one. For our train table, I covered the base of it with blue paper, and then I put various sea animals and boats and nets in there, so for some small world play. In our sensory bin, we still cannot use water, rice, or sand, so we are going to pretend there is water in this bin while we go fishing. So we have our fish and we have our fishing poles, and there is a magnet on this fishing pole, and they just go up to the fish and then they just pick it up and they're going fishing. On our writing table, we have our chunky stamps, and these create an ocean theme. And I like these stamps because they have big knobs on them, and then we use the big jumbo stamp pads so they can just stamp in the stamp pad and then do it on the paper. So we started this last week during our dinosaur theme, and I thought they had so much fun with it, I decided we'll do it again this week. Over in our science and exploration area, we are exploring shells, and I have a tray where they can put the bumpy shells and a tray where they can put the smooth shells, and then we also have some magnifying glasses. In our dramatic play area, we have sunglasses and we have buckets, and then we have some sushi, because speaking of fish, we thought we'll have a little sushi restaurant going on over there. So that's how we have our classroom set up for our beach and ocean theme. And then the last week, we will also have a beach day. And I like to do this every year, where I invite the children to come wearing their beach attire, and they bring their beach towel, and we pretend that we are at the beach and we lay our beach towels out. So that's always kind of a fun way to end our year. And also, I'm often asked, when do we celebrate summer birthdays? And we also do that the last week of school as well. So we'll be having a little celebration, probably with popsicles, with our beach day, celebrating the children whose birthdays are in the summer. And again, a little reminder that if you need a little help planning your ocean theme, I have helped create this ocean lesson plan packet for preschoolers ages 3 to 5. I also have one for toddlers. and I'll drop the links to those in this video's description as well. I'll be back next week to share some more highlights with you. Thanks for watching.